Us is directed by Jordan Peele and is the latest horror movie that just got released. I have to say that I was anticipating this movie, but I still didn't make my hopes too high in case it ended up being disappointing. But I'm pleased because I think Jordan Peele was able to make another solid horror movie. Things I liked about this movie was the comedy at perfect moments. It doesn't take away from scenes, it doesn't make them any less suspenseful. Maybe in like one or two scenes, but I feel like it adds to the movie and it makes it what it is. The comedy is put in at perfect moments. It's really funny actually, especially the dad character. I really liked him in the movie, and it just adds to the movie in lots of ways, and that's what makes it so great. And the characters in this movie, especially the mom, are really well fleshed out and everything. I think all of them are special, and they just add most to the movie whenever they're on screen. Whatever scenes is theirs, they make it their scene, if you know what I mean. And especially the mom character, I think the actress who played her was terrific in this movie. She was really good, and it's not, I don't think it's, I feel like it's going to be a very underrated performance, that's what I'm saying. Like Toni Collette last year in Hereditary, which was a fantastic horror movie. If you guys haven't seen that, then you should really see that. But the mom in this movie, she's very interesting, and you're on her side during lots of the movie, and she's just a very likable and interesting character. This movie's also very suspenseful. There's lots of scenes that you might be on the edge of your seat, though there's some parts where it can like lose sort of its momentum. I'll talk about that later. But whenever there are really suspenseful scenes in this movie, they're really good. It's not a tough watch. It's just like your heart's pounding during this movie during some scenes. And another thing I loved about this movie was the soundtrack. Oh, I love the soundtrack. It's so cool. Especially, not a lot of people are going to be talking about this, but during the opening, like the very first part of this movie, there's these texts that appear on the screen. And I think the music, or it wasn't even music, it was just like a dark tone in the background. It was awesome. That was like a really good part, and it makes you like excited to watch the movie. And you would like as soon as that happens, you guys are like, oh, I'm in for something. And this movie knows what it is. It's a horror comedy movie that's very entertaining. It's a really fun movie. You guys would really like it. It didn't get under my skin like some movies like Hereditary, which are my favorite kind of horror movies, or The Shining, which is, Shining is a horror masterpiece. But it knows what it is. It's a fun horror comedy movie that's a mainstream movie that's meant for all audiences who like horror. And that's mainly the good stuff about this movie. Also, this movie has an awesome last 30 minutes. I don't want to spoil anything, but like during the last 30 minutes, I was just like so interested, and the soundtrack starts like boom during it, and it's weird. It's a really weird movie. Now, there's some things I didn't like about this movie. I felt like it lost some momentum through some of the second act, and it wasn't as suspenseful, but then they built it up again. So that sort of saved the movie for me, in the second act at least. Which, it's a little disappointing though, because like I wasn't on the edge of my seat throughout the whole movie like I was during Hereditary or The Shining, which I've mentioned Hereditary and The Shining like 8 times already. But it just wasn't as suspenseful throughout the whole movie, and that kind of took away a little. But that's sort of a minor problem. Another thing is it could have gone under my skin a little more, and like I said earlier, like it could have and I don't know if this is really a flaw though, because it knows what it's trying to be. But I feel like it could have gone under my skin just a little, and could have shown some more scarier parts, if you know what I mean. Because this isn't really a scary movie. I know people are going to be scared of this movie, but me, I was just interested, and I felt the suspense during this movie. I wasn't really scared at all. Like, I wasn't scared at all, but I didn't really care, because during horror movies, I just want to feel the suspense and, just be interested. And here's a major, well, not a, this is like a minor major issue. It's like in the middle there. It got very confusing in some parts, mainly near the end. But I don't want to spoil anything for you guys, but I'm not going to make a spoiler review, so I'm just gonna say, like, it gets very confusing in some parts, and that kind of took away during some parts. But if you watch it again, you'll probably understand it more, or I'll probably understand it more, or maybe I just wasn't paying enough attention. But whatever. It's like this was a very good movie, and overall, I think this is a very solid and enjoyable horror film that I think you guys should really check out. I'm going to give Us a B plus. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully I'll have more reviews out to you shortly, and if you're new, it would be great for some extra support, so like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.